So welcome again to our session today. We have lined up an auditing question from Business Data Analytics paper. Now this is December 2024, question 25. We want to go through the question. You are the audit senior in charge of the audit of Gamma Limited, a medium-sized retail company. The company has implemented new sales management system that tracks all sales transactions, including credit sales, returns, and collections. As part of your audit of sales and accounts receivable for the first 3 quarters of the financial year 2024, you need to perform various audit procedures using data analytics to test controls and detect any potential material misstatements. Now, below is an extract of the sales and receivable data for Gamma Limited for the year ended 30th September 2024. So we've been given the details for sales and receivables, from the invoice number to customer name to invoice date to sales amount to credit terms to collection date to amount collected all the way to discount given. Then we have additional information. Where the collection dates are not indicated, collections are yet to be made. Now required, conduct the below tests of controls using MS Excel to analyze whether Gamma Limited adheres to its credit terms. Roman 1, or we can will be reading them as we do them. So we want to start with the first one. Roman 1, extract or calculate using an MS Excel function the number of days between the invoice date and also the collection date, or today's date for cases where collection has not yet happened. So we want to start with the first one, then after that we'll move as we read the other parts of the question. So we start the first part. So we have solution. Solution. For the solution, we bring in the first part. This is the first part of the question. Part A, just copy and paste. Can make that to be bold. So conduct the below test of control using Excel to analyze whether Gamma Limited adheres to its credit terms. So they want an extract using an Excel function, the number of days between the invoice date and the collection date, or today's date for cases where collection has not yet happened. Now, I want to bring the same data from up there. We are copying the same data. This, the way it is. Copy. Control C. Then Control V. Paste here. Control V. Before we proceed to come up with an additional column, I want us to edit this data a bit because it has some items that are not friendly, especially on the, we have the date here and also the date on the other side. So I want us to add just a few things. For instance, select or make sure that all the dates are date. So you pick the column for date. Just to confirm that this is all date, you just click on short date here. Now for amount, select the column for amount, then use the comma style. Use the comma style so that we can have the currency, the 0.00. Then go to the other date, pick the collection date, select the entire of the other collection date. Just make sure that it is in short date. Then we will remove this. Remember, this is a hyphen. If there's a hyphen here, you can see the formula, but this is a hyphen, then it will restrict some formula to populate because this is a hyphen and we want to remove it. Now you can see if you click here and you go to the formula bar, you see some hyphen. So this was intentionally put here so that when a student runs a formula, perhaps it may refuse to work the way you want. So remove this comma. Not comma, but hyphen. Go to this other hyphen and remove. Go to this other hyphen also. Don't remove a date. We are just removing a hyphen only. Hyphen means there is nothing there. Again, remove this other hyphen until you are done with all the hyphens. That way. Once you are done with the hyphens, this other amount here should also be, so you select, pick this and click on the comma style. Discount given, select this as well. And also format with a comma style. Just click on the comma style. Create another column. Create another column known as days are due. Days due. Days due. Then start with an equal sign. Equal sign. If tab is blank, if is blank, tab again. So if is blank, tab. Are we supposed to use tab, or after the if is blank, we have the G74. G74 is some cell here. So G, not G74, but the collection date. So we have the collection date. Click on this first collection date. First collection date. Then comma, comma. Today, tab, close bracket. So today tab, then you close bracket, minus. So it will be today minus. Then click on the invoice date. Now click on the invoice date, the D78, comma. But if it is not blank, then now click on the collection date. Click on the collection date minus, click on the invoice date. Collection date minus invoice date. So there's a date here that was picked wrongly. We want to change this. This is supposed to be the invoice date here, like that. So that is our formula. After that, you enter, and that is too many. We omitted the bracket after this. There need to be a bracket after that. That is what we omitted. So if you are to redo that, if you are to redo this again, if that one missed out, this equal sign, if tab is blank, if is blank, then what is blank? Click on the collection date. So if is blank, then you click on the collection date, then close the bracket, comma. If it is blank, if the collection date is blank, then you will pick today's date, close bracket, minus, then you are supposed to less the invoice date. Otherwise, if it is not blank, then just pick the collection date minus the invoice date. That is, if it is not blank, close those brackets and then enter. So that is what we bring as 2 is the days due. 62 is the days due. This down, copy down, all the way to the last one. So that is what we have. And you can see that some days are positive while some days are negative. If it is positive, it means that it is yet to be paid. But if it is negative, it means that it has already been paid. So positives means the invoice is yet to be paid. Negative means that it has already been paid. And those number of days have passed since the invoice was paid. Now that is number 1. That is Roman 1. Roman 2 Roman 2, I think there is no need of this being here. Unless all of them are there, let us not include this one here. Roman 2, you can just move up. Roman 2 says, using a formula, create a status column that identifies any instances where collections are made beyond the allowed credit period as beyond, and those within the credit terms as within. So if collections are made beyond the allowed period, that is beyond, but within, that will be within. So you use the if statement. That one is very, very easy. Just say status. Status. You can call it credit status. Credit status. Now, here you will say on the credit status, equal sign, if tab, equal sign, if tab, if the days due, so you click on this cell where there is 62, is greater than, if the days due is greater than the credit terms are here in column F, here's the 30. So if the days due are greater than this credit term of 30, comma, then quotation, beyond. Beyond. Otherwise, the answer should be within. Otherwise, it should be within. That is it. You enter, then you drag down. Copy down. That is number A, Roman 2. You can see that we have so many beyond compared to within. There are so many beyonds compared to within. Next part is Roman 3. Use conditional formatting to highlight all details of overdue accounts. Apply yellow fill with bold red font. So using conditional formatting, highlight all details of overdue account. Now overdue is beyond. So we want to highlight beyond. Select this column from beyond all the way to the last one. Then we want to do conditional formatting. Conditional formatting. So make sure you select from the first beyond to the last one. On the home menu, you will see conditional formatting. Conditional formatting, click on the arrow. Click on the arrow. Then highlight cell rules. Highlight cell rules. Then select text that contains. So under the arrow of highlight cell rules, you will see greater than, less than, between. I'm interested with text that contains. Click on it. Click on it. Then which text? Which text? Just click on any beyond that you see. Click on any beyond that you see. Any beyond that you see. Now they wanted, which color did they want us to use? They wanted yellow fill with bold red font. So click on this arrow and see if it's there. Yellow with bold red. Red. Do we have yellow with bold red font? No, it's not here. So click on custom format. Custom format. Custom format. Start with the font. We are on font. Make sure it's bold. Then color, pick red. Pick red. Color, pick red. So color is here. Red. Then go to fill. Fill. There is border, then fill. Under fill, pick yellow. Yellow. Then OK. And you are done with that. So if you move back to your data, you will see that that is what has happened. The beyond is highlighted in yellow background with a red bold font. This is the final for the credit status. You can see beyond is yellow background, yellow fill with a red bold font. Now number 3, if not number 2, we are done with this. We move to number B. Using Excel, perform the following substantive test on the account receivable balance. Roman 1, create and calculate amounts due by considering payment collected or offered discount. So this is amounts due. So go to your data, find amounts due, just write here amounts due, new column for amounts due. Amounts due, that should be in shillings. That way. That's amounts due. Now, amounts due is very easy. Just say equal sign. The sales amount, check the sales amount minus amount collected minus discount given. So sales amount minus amount collected minus discount given, and enter, then drag. You can see the first one, there is no balance. It means all of it was paid. Drag down. That gives you the amount due. Dash means that it has already been properly paid. Dash means correctly paid fully. Positive means you are yet to pay some amount. Then negative means that it is overpaid. Negative means that it has been overpaid. That is that. We move to the next one. Roman 2, part B. Okay. Now the next one. Next part is Roman 2, part B. Compute the aging of accounts receivable based on days due to classify the accounts as below. So we want to deal with aging of accounts receivable, and it will be classified as follows: aging of accounts receivable. So you move here and say aging of accounts receivable, aging, aging of receivables, aging of receivables. We are going to use the nested if statement. We want to use the nested if statement as follows. Nested if statement. Remember, the categories are here. Categories are here. And it is based on due days. This one is based on due days. Current, less than 30 days. Due, more than 60. Then overdue is more than 90 days. So we want to classify that. We want to classify that here. Now remember, the due days are here. So the formula will be equal sign if tab, this cell, the 62 under the due days, is greater than 90, comma, open bracket, overdue. That is overdue. And they say that for overdue, it should be plus how many days? Overdue, you can just use it the way it is, overdue, comma, if again, the same cell is greater than 60, comma, then that will be, is it current or due? Due, quotation, comma, again, if, tab, the same cell is greater than 30, comma, then that should be current. That should be current. Close those brackets. I don't close bracket yet, because we have the last one there. So close the quotation, comma, then bring the double quotation. What if it is less than 30? What if it is less than 30? Then that will be empty. So we are saying that it is opened with 1, 2, 3 brackets are open, and therefore you should also close with 3 brackets. So 1, 2, 3. Close with 3 brackets, enter, then drag down. Drag down. After the aging of receivables, let's see what they want next. This is what they want next. Number C. Using MS Excel pivot tables, perform analytical procedures on sales discount given during the year. So they want us to do this. Part number C, part A, I'm copying that because that one is done down. We have this. So using MS Excel pivot table, perform analytical procedures on sales and discounts given during the year. So Roman 1, prepare a monthly sales trend analysis using the invoice data. So we want to do a pivot table. We want to do a pivot table. Or you can do both a pivot table and a pivot chart. And how do we do this? Click inside this data. And we can start by formatting this as table. Just format this as table. Select all of it. I hope you know how to format as table. All the way to aging, then move down this way. Make sure you've included everything as we format as table. Include everything. Then go to the home menu, format as table. Pick any of the colors here. Pick any of the colors. Then OK. So I've formatted my data as a table. Now click anywhere inside the table. Anywhere inside the table. Go to the insert menu. Then pivot table. Remember, they want a pivot table of sales, monthly sales trend analysis. So monthly sales trend analysis using the invoice data. Now, pivot table, then from table range, it's already selected properly. Take it to the existing worksheet. Scroll down. So existing worksheet, then I want the answer to be here, somewhere here. So existing worksheet, but here. Then OK. OK. Now, once you have that, they want a monthly sales trend analysis using the invoice data. So start by using the invoice number. Take the invoice number to rows. Invoice number to rows. Invoice number to rows. Then they also want the monthly sale trend analysis. So sales, monthly sales trend analysis. What do we need again? Take the invoice date to rows again. Invoice date to rows. Now that is not properly done. That is not properly done. It seems it has replaced the other component. Remove all this. Just remove, drag out, then we start afresh. Prepare a monthly sales trend analysis using the invoice data. So start by picking the invoice date. Invoice date, take it to rows. Take it to rows. Invoice date to rows. Remember, they wanted monthly. So if they wanted monthly, then you will scroll down. They only wanted monthly. So uncheck quarters and uncheck years. Uncheck quarters and uncheck years here. If you scroll down, you'll see quarters and years. Uncheck both of them. Only leave month. Then they want amount of sales. So pick sales, move up. Where is the sales amount? This is the sales amount. So take the sales amount and drop to values. Drop the sales amount to values. That is what they wanted. Monthly sales trend analysis using the invoice data. Okay, so Roman 2, here we are, analyze the proportion of discounts. Now the other part, that is Roman 2, this is Roman 2. Analyze the proportion of discounts given relative to the total sales and flag any unusual trend. The other part is analyze the proportion of discounts given relative to the total sales and flag any unusual trend using a pivot table or chart. So I'll be doing both. I'll do both a pivot table and also a pivot chart. So analyze the proportion of discounts given relative to the total sales and flag any unusual trend using a pivot table or chart. So here, total sales and discount given. Total sales and discount given. Now go back to the table. This is the table. And go to Insert. This time round, click on Pivot Chart. Pivot Chart. Pivot Chart, not Pivot Table, but Pivot Chart. Click on Chart. Then Existing Worksheet. Make sure you go to the existing worksheet. Then scroll down. You want it to be under the existing worksheet here. So click on this cell so that it's blinking. Then you want the answer to be just here. Yeah. After that, you click on OK. Here we are. This will give us both a pivot table and a pivot chart. And they wanted discount and discount and now proceed. Now, they wanted, I want you to start by bringing, maybe we can use the invoice number. You can bring the invoice number this time round. Invoice number to axis, not axis or, yeah, to axis. We are going to use both. Invoice number to axis. Invoice number to axis. Then sales amount. I hope they wanted the sales amount. Yeah, sales amount to values. Sales amount to values. That is sales amount to values. Then finally, discount given also to values. Discount given also to values. Like that. Or you can just check the discount given. That is it. Then you can close this part. This part. And position your chart properly. So you can position this chart here properly. This is what we have as our final result. So to edit a bit, I take this legend below. So legend should be below. Legend should be below. Then axis title, chart title as well. The first part is this is the amount. Then analysis of sales, amount, and related discounts. Sales amount and related discount. This is invoice. And reduce the size that way. So this is what we have. Was analyze the proportion of discount given relative to the total sales and flag any unusual trend using pivot table or chart. So you have done that, but finally create, make sure that there's a space here because you're bringing in something here, another column here. So create a space, make sure there's a space here after the sum of discount. Analyze the proportion of discount given relative to total sales. So proportion of discount given relative to total sales. So you'll move to the grand total of 5,250. Grand total of 5,250. Here, right click on it. Then show values as. Show values as. Right click here. Then show values as percentage of grand total. Percentage of grand total. Values as percentage of grand total. Click and they will create for you percentage of grand total. So you can see what is happening there on percentage of grand total. Now, any unusual trend like this one is too high. You can see this cell. This one is too high. Which invoice is this? So I want you to highlight this. It's too high. The sales are too high relative to the others. So you can just highlight with some color that is too high. So this the same as this. And this one is not showing discounts equivalent to the total sales. So we'll undo, up to here. So this is what we had before we converted. This one is showing the discount and amount. So analyze the proportion of discount given relative to the total sales. So discount given relative to the total sales. Then flag any unusual trend. We were talking about trends. Unusual trend like this one here, this is too long. So we can just flag that by maybe highlighting. If you want to highlight that, you can just highlight and have it. It's too much compared to the others. It is here again. Why is it too long compared to the others? You can also highlight that relative to the others. That is wrong. Pick just one. Make sure you click only one. That way, then again this. That is also unusual, too long. That was the one for invoice number 14. This. In fact, they were not given any discount for that. Too low. Do we have too low? Because that is too high. You can also highlight too low. Too low. You'll also highlight this. Very unusual trend. This, and this. They're just the same. Same discount amounts may raise some issues. So also highlight that. You can use a different color. So different sales amount, but same discount worries somebody. I think that is it for that part. I want to move to the next part. Now. Now, the next part will be Roman 3. Prepare an appropriate chart. So they want an appropriate chart. Control C, copy down. Appropriate chart here. Prepare a chart from the data in C Roman 1 above. So C Roman 1. This is what we have here. They want a chart for this. I want a line chart for this. So select from January all the way to September. From January all the way to September. Insert recommended chart. Go for a line chart. Line chart. Then OK. Cut it and paste here. Edit. Chart title and axis title as well. This one we have months, amount, then sales amount by months. Or you can say monthly sales amount. Now the other part is that comment on the above trend. So you're supposed to comment on the above trend. So what is the comment that we should give for the above trend? So we can comment here and say the sales, the monthly sales are fluctuating rapidly with the highest being what is the highest sales? From what we can see, the highest sales is 83. 83 in which month? 83 in February, the highest being 83,000 in February. In February, and the lowest being, the lowest is 7,500 in September, and the lowest is shillings, 7,500 in September. Fully stop. Now you can also see in the trend that it is declining. So the sales are, however, the sales are also reducing over the month. So they're also reducing over the month. So the trend is in a reduction tone. Now, last part of the question reads, last part is here, audit report. Audit report. Audit report. So we will draft an audit report. We will draft an audit report, and the report will go to the directors of the company, of course, to the directors of Gamma Limited. We want to come up with an audit report on what we see. So audit report. Brief audit report. Based on the various tests conducted, comma, most receivables are past their credit granted period, as indicated by the due days computed above. Full stop. The credit status highlighted or the credit status shown by yellow font indicates prevalence of beyond. Prevalence of beyond. So that one can be shown there. It indicates the prevalence of beyond. So there is more beyond as shown here. You can see that we have a lot of beyond. Most of these things are just beyond with very little within, with few within. Then you can see aging of receivables as well. So there is overdue and also due. Yeah, you can proceed writing and say that most receivables are yet to be paid as indicated or as shown with those which are current, comma, due, and overdue, So overall, comma, there is a poor credit management by Gamma Limited. So overall, there is a poor credit management, but that is a report for credit management. 2, we also have a report for related party transactions. Now look at this. On related party transactions, just move up to our data. Look at this invoice, Gamma. Customer name is Gamma. The company name is known as Gamma Limited. So Gamma Limited, again, there's an invoice here for Gamma Limited. So 1, this is the invoice. Another invoice is here. Another invoice is, how many are they? Here. So 1, 2, 3. Invoice 3, 14 and 19. Invoice 3, 14 and 19. Invoice 3, 14 and 19 belongs to a customer known as Gamma. A customer known as Gamma, let me confirm again, Gamma Limited. A customer known as Gamma Limited, which happens to be the name of the company as well, the name of the business. The business and audit. Full stop. So this shows some related party transactions, which is not recommended. So that is not recommended. That is which is not recommended because it brings conflicts of interest. Yeah, conflicts of interest. So included in this is also invoice 17 and 19, of course. So that brings in the conflicts of interest, and if you look at our data, then they may end up paying themselves earlier than the other customers. That was the final audit report. But before we finalize the question, we can relook. We can relook at this part, the analysis of the proportion of discount given relative to the sales, and we flag any unusual trend. So I want to bring in the percentages of the discount given over the sales amount. I want to add a column here for percentages. So to do that, you go to the pivot table analyze, then under the calculated field, go to the field here, field item and sets, then go to calculated field, then the field name, we give it a field name, that will be percentage. We can call it percentage of discount, given, then the formula will be as follows. You start with an equal sign, then discount amount, this is the discount given, double click, discount given, you double click this, or you can insert field, over, look for the sales amount is here, click on it and then insert field. So that is what you do. So there's a formula here for equal sign, discount given over the sales amount, then after that you click on OK. So if you do that, you will see that there's a new field that has been added for percentages. Now convert these to percent, then 2 decimal places for that percent, 2 decimal places, and that completes the analysis of the question that was given. So that is the final answer from what we did up here. What we did on that, the other charts, the pivot table, then pivot table and pivot chart. Then there is a chart, the line chart, then finally the brief audit report on the analysis that we found out. So that was December 2024, question 25.